Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to 365 Analytics. And we're back with another NFL Game Picks video. It is week 9, and we are already almost halfway through the season, and that is crazy. We have 2 bye weeks this week, and we're just gonna get right into it. So if you guys enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, put on notifications. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. And we are back with game picks, and we have a lot to talk about. It was a crazy week 8. On Friday, I posted my NFC West video, but it was a crazy Sunday week 8. It was a crazy Monday week 8. It was a crazy week. So last week, it was not a crazy record. It was not a crazy record, quite frankly. It was 8-8. Um, there was some picks I switched. I think I switched the Giants Steelers game. That was the only one I really switched, I think. Which I switched to the Giants because I was already having a terrible week. I was thinking, what's the difference between 9-7 and 8-8? I switched to the Giants. They lost, so I went 8-8. That brings my record on the season 73-50. Not where we want to be. We want to be a little bit better. It's not a terrible record. It could be much worse, but I'd say 73-50. We want to improve that, and I think there is room to improve that. So let's try to have a good week here. My record on locks is 4-4, and my record on upsets is 3-5. So yeah, that's gonna bring it right into the picks. So starting off with Halloween night, Thursday night football tomorrow night. It's CJ Stroud versus Aaron Rodgers in MetLife Stadium. Jets in all the all black uniforms on Halloween night. And we're gonna start off with a weird one because the Texans, they're 6-2 right now. Joe Mixon's playing out of his mind. The best ball he's playing of his career in his first year in Houston. CJ Stroud, not playing as good as he was his rookie year, but he's still playing some solid ball. Stephon Diggs announced yesterday on Tuesday that he is done for the season. Still no Nico Collins, so that leaves a receiving core of Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson, and I guess Robert Woods in there still, and John Mechie, I guess. That's your receiving core right now. So yeah, the Texans are weird right now. The New York Jets, they are 2-6. They are coming off the uh, an unfathomable terrible loss against the New England Patriots. A game where I think they shouldn't have lost. Where I think how did they lose that football game? Aaron Rodgers was not good. Not many people are talking about it, but he was not good, and I cannot believe they lost that game. But one thing is, Vegas has the New York Jets as favorites in this game. Vegas knows something, so I can't pick my upset of the week on this one. I can't believe I'm falling into this trap again, but I feel like Vegas knows something we don't. I'm gonna take the New York Jets. I got a bold. I got a bold. Size 12 bold, right? On this whole entire thing. Size 12 bold. Middle. But I'm taking the New York Jets. And I hate falling into that trap again because I've fallen into this trap before and it's been a big problem. But Jets are favored in this game. Texans are without their two top weapons, one for the year. And I think Halloween night, Thursday night football, short week at home, I'm giving this one to Rodgers, and this could come back to bite me. But I want to start off the week strong, and I'm picking the Jets at home. Next, we have a solid 1 p.m. game. We have Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins with the Cowboys and the Falcons Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox. Again, no London or Germany game this week. Next week, we have Giants Panthers, but that's right now. Giants Panthers, by the way, it's a terrible game to put in Germany. I can't believe we're sentencing I mean, Germany. Well, yeah, Germany, but is it in Munich? It's in Munich, I think, right? But yeah, we have the Cowboys, Falcons. Dak Prescott lost on Sunday Night Football versus the 49ers. Was not very good the entire game until he stepped up in the fourth quarter, made some good plays. Yeah, no Rico Dowdle last week. Could be back this week. That run game, CeeDee Lamb was good last week. 2 touchdowns. I believe he had 2 touchdowns over 100 yards for the Falcons. They beat Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. They beat the injured Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they beat them nonetheless. Jesse Bates is playing out of his mind right now. playing crazy ball. Bijan's playing well. Kirk Cousins has played two great games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to complete the sweep. Um, yeah, I mean the Falcons are playing solid. The defense still has some question marks, I'd say, but Jesse Bates, obviously, as I just said, has been playing great. And this is the one I feel like this is the one right here where I feel like mm, this is tough because I feel like the Falcons, they're 5-3 right now. Can they go to 6-3? Yeesh. 6-3. Can I see Kirk Cousins and the Falcons being 6-3? I think this is a more important game for the Dallas Cowboys right now, and I think they know that. This is gonna be a more important game for the Dallas Cowboys than it is the Atlanta Falcons. The Cowboys have a hell of a schedule coming up, and a hell of a schedule for the rest of the entire year. We're going with the upset. We're picking the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we're just taking swings this week, aren't we? We're taking swings this week, and we are picking the Cowboys on the road to go to Atlanta and win. I'm gonna go for it. So two decently upsets going starting to start the week with the Jets and Cowboys. I mean, the Jets are favored, but I consider it an upset. And then we have defense versus offense, if I do say so myself. We have the Denver Broncos, one of the most stifling defenses in the National Football League right now, kind of flying under the radar. This team is 5-3. These two teams have the same exact record right now, and nobody's talking about it. The Denver Broncos, their defense is great. Their defense is great. They got playmakers. Vance Joseph has taken heat before, and he has that unit playing well right now. The offense has some question marks. Bo Nick still isn't playing great ball. I mean, they did score 28 points against the Carolina Panthers last week, but it's the Carolina Panthers, and they won convincingly. The Baltimore Ravens. This game will be played in M&T Bank Stadium. The Baltimore Ravens. Their defense, on the other hand, is horrible. Zach Orr is scrambling for answers. He brought in Dean Pease, I believe, to help with the defense a few weeks ago. Former Falcons D coordinator. I believe he's made a few stops, but I know him for the Falcons. He's a great defensive mind. They brought him in. He hasn't fixed much. Zach Orr, a lot of Ravens fans are giving up on him, but I mean, he is how many weeks? 8 weeks into his first defensive coordinator job. I think he needs a little bit more of a longer leash there. But the Ravens offense, obviously, Lamar Jackson still playing MVP ball. Deontay Johnson was just brought in yesterday in a trade with the Carolina Panthers. Zay Flowers is still there. I mean, Derrick Henry's still there. That offense is booming. They did lose to the Cleveland Browns last week in a game where I called that. I said it would be a close game. I said that I think Jameis Winston would bring a new light to that offense. And I said that Ravens Browns would be close, which it was, and the Browns won. I picked the Ravens, but the Browns won. We'll talk about the Browns more when we get to the Browns game. But I'm gonna take the Ravens here at home. I think they need to bounce back. Next week, week 10 is Thursday night football, Bengals Browns. We'll talk about the Bengals all right. We'll talk about the Bengals all right more. But I mean Bengals Ravens next week on Thursday night football. So it's a short week for both of them. The Ravens, they need this win. They're at home. They're gonna get it done. They're gonna get it done against Bo Nix, a rookie quarterback. I mean, this is the game for them. They're gonna rebound at home, and the Ravens are gonna go to 6-3. I mean, I don't really have much doubts about this game. I think Denver could keep competitive, but I think the Ravens have it. And then we have the AFC East rematch from Week 2, Thursday Night Football. We have the Dolphins and the Bills. These two played in Week 2 in South Beach. Obviously that was the game where Tua had the concussion. They're rematching, and it's in Orchard Park this time. The Dolphins drew the Bills in Orchard Park in November this time, early November, so it's not freezing cold for Tua to choke in the freezing cold. Tua has never been good in the cold, so I do give the Dolphins a little bit of an edge here. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills are favored in this game, and this is one I actually thought. I mean, I could maybe see, like, I don't want to call it out, but I could maybe see the Dolphins upsetting. I could see the Dolphins keeping this close and upsetting division rivalry game 2 on the season. Miami's 2-5. I mean, they lost last week to the Cardinals on a game-winning field goal. Tua didn't play necessarily bad, but they lost. I mean, they lost. So maybe Miami could revive their season if they pick this up. The AFC wild card is so wide open right now. It's just the AFC is so top heavy now. I mean, in prior years, it was the NFC was top heavy and the wild card was all mixed up. This year, it's kind of flip flopped. The NFC has a lot of solid to mid teams, and the AFC is top heavy. So I could see the Dolphins sneaking back, but this is the Buffalo Bills division to lose. I mean, the Buffalo Bills should have this game in Orchard Park. Josh Allen, only one interception on the season. He's playing some good football. Not an MVP frontrunner or anything like that. I'd give that to probably Lamar or Jared Goff right now, but Buffalo gets it done. They're at home. I think they win. And then we have possibly the worst game in the entire football season. No, I'm kidding. It's a division game. It's a rematch of week one. It's Saints Panthers. I don't really have much to say about this game at all, actually. The Saints, Derek Carr is practicing. I think he practiced today, Derek Carr. They should have him back this week, or if not, very soon. I think it will be Derek Carr. If not, it's going to be Spencer Rattler again. Carolina. It was Bryce Young starting last week, and remind me never to pick the Carolina Panthers in a football game ever again. I am not falling into that trap. Bryce Young looks absolutely lost out there. I've had faith in Bryce Young, man. I've had faith in him. Everyone called him short coming out of Alabama. Everyone said he could be the biggest bust of all time, and he's looking like a big, big bust right now. I mean, obviously, a change of scenery needs to happen. That's the bottom line, and he's just not playing well in Carolina. Dave Canales is scrambling with these guys, and I don't know what's going on over there. I think the Saints complete the sweep. Derek Carr's back. They're a better football team with Derek Carr than they are Spencer Rattler. If Spencer Rattler's playing in this game, I mean, I'll give the Carolina Panthers a chance. But with Derek Carr, the Saints are the better football team. Should be an Alvin Kamara game. They just win the game. I mean, this it will be pretty boring. Probably like 30-17. I mean, it won't be a great football game, but the Saints are gonna get it done. Oh, we've reached the Bengals portion of the video. We have the Raiders and Bengals. Rematch of the 2021 AFC wild card. We'll to the Raiders in a second. The Bengals, 3-5 now. A very, very, very demoralizing loss versus the Eagles this past Sunday in the whiteout game to drop to 0-4 at Paycor Stadium on the season. The Bengals, man, I don't know what to say about them right now. Joe Burrow's playing good ball. The defense is not. Zach Taylor looks absolutely lost out there play calling. That sequence on the fourth down, going for your own side of the field, I will defend going for it on your own side of the field. I have no problem with going for it on your own side of the field in that situation. The Bengals feel like they needed points, and I totally agree with it. Defense wasn't doing what they needed to do. Jalen Hurts was playing damn good football. The problem was on 3rd and 1, you line up six offensive linemen out there. Matt Lee's your sixth offensive lineman. It is the most obvious run to the right. And the entire Eagles defensive line knows that on 3rd and 1. It was going to be a Zach Moss run to the right. Joe Burrow checks out of that. He checks to the run on the left. They run to the left. Zach Moss gets stuffed. Now it's 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. Jamar Chase in motion. You know, when you see the Bengals' best player, with especially with no T. Higgins on the field, you see the Bengals' best player in motion behind the line of scrimmage. All 11 of the Eagles' defensive players' eyes are on that guy. And what do? The target goes to Jamar Chase 3 or 4 yards behind the sticks on 4th and 1. The Bengals get stopped, and momentum changes. And then coming back, Burrow throws deep to Jamar Chase. Isaiah Rogers Sr. tips it, goes into C.J. Gardner-Johnson's hands. Eagles lead by 10, and they pick off the football. Bengals lose to the Eagles. They drop to 3-5. They have lost the Orange Out game at home to the New England Patriots. They lost the Ring of Honor game on Monday night to the Commanders. They lost. They lost the Ravens game at home, and then they lost the Whiteout game at home. I don't know what has to give. I'm not going to call the Bengals season over because of the outlook of the AFC wildcard right now. We have some questionable teams that I'm not sold on in the AFC wildcard, like Denver and Los Angeles. But man, something needs to change. And it might have to be Zach Taylor giving up play calling, which we know will never happen. But there's so many problems in Cincinnati right now. The defense, man, I don't even know what to say about them. T. Higgins gets hurt in Friday practice. With no T. Higgins, I'm so disappointed in these guys, man. They have to pick this one up. They really do. I think they're gonna do it, but this might be they lose this game. Everyone's tapping out, the fan base is tapping out for the year, and that's gonna be that's gonna be it. But man, the Bengals, they have to get it done. I've rambled enough about them. I might make another video about them. I don't know. We got Thursday night football a week from tomorrow against the Ravens next weekend. We're gonna have to win a lot of games. We're gonna have to win 7 of the last 9. Burrow said it. We all know it. Bengals win. Raiders, not much to say about them besides I don't know. Alex Madison's playing solid ball. Not really much to say about them right now. They lost to the Chiefs last week. Next game. Coming up next, we have the Chargers and the Browns. It is two AFC teams taking on here, Herbert versus Winston. And I could see a lot of people being on the Browns in this game. I really could. I think a lot of people will be on the Browns here. It's in Cleveland. I believe it's the third straight week of the game in Cleveland. Herbert right now got the Chargers at 4-3. I don't know. This is a tough game to pick because James Winston, obviously, as I said with the Baltimore game, he gives a new life to that offense. He has that offense better playing better than Deshaun Watson. Obviously, Nick Chubb's back. Cedric Tillman played a very good game. I mean, they got some playmakers. Jameis Winston was the had his first 300-yard game with the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson never had a 300-yard game with the Cleveland Browns. I am gonna take the Chargers. I am gonna take the Chargers, but I mean, this is a really up in the air game. I mean, like either of these teams can come up with this. This is a more important game for the Chargers, considering the Browns season is likely over because of the start with Watson. The Browns might have beat us, the Bengals, with Jameis Winston at the helm instead of DTR, but I mean, I think the Chargers get it done. The better football team wins it. Herbert's been playing some solid ball, kind of going under the radar because the Chargers aren't really like a flashy team and they're not really like a perennial contender, but Herbert's playing some good football. He's playing some of the best football of his career right now, playing efficient ball. I think he only has one interception on the season, but yeah, Chargers, I think they win this game. And I just realized we need to change it because we had a flex. That's right, we had a flex. Indy and Minnesota is at the Sunday Night Football spot, while Philly and this can get X'd out. These can go here. This can get X'd out. This can get X'd out. The Sunday 405 is Jacksonville at Philly. I believe that's correct. And this is Sunday at 1 o'clock. So that can get changed. We're going to go to Washington, New York Giants. Indy at Minnesota got flexed to Sunday Night Football last week. So that's a Sunday Night Football game, but we'll go over to that. But it's Washington at the Giants. I'm really not going to overthink this one. This is a division game. This is a division game. People underestimate that these two teams play close a lot, and I know I say that for a lot of these division games, but I think this could be a close game. And I know it's kind of crazy to say the ball that Daniel Jones is playing right now, but Tyrone Tracy's a dog. Malik Neighbors is a dog. Darius Slayton played very well on Monday night. I'm going to pick the Commanders. I don't really have much to say, but don't sleep on the Giants in this game. I think they keep it close because these two football teams, I don't know what it is with the Commanders and Giants. I've always said it. And obviously, this is my first year doing picks on this channel, but I've always said it. Commanders Giants seems like the closest. Like, those two teams play so close. I don't know why every single football game I see between them 16-13, 24-20, 23-20, 27-23, 27-20, every single game. It feels like in the past few years at least with these new resumes, but Commanders are the better football team this year. Much better football team, obviously. Jaden Daniels, obviously, the Hail Mary last week was nuts. The Tyreek Stevenson thing, we'll talk about Tyreek Stevenson when we get to the Chicago Bears, but nuts. I mean, crazy. So, yeah, give me the Commanders. And then we have a pretty much a toss-up game. We have the New England Patriots taking on the Tennessee Titans. And the Patriots, They're 2-6. They picked up a win against the Jets this past Sunday in an upset game. Drake May is in concussion protocol right now, but he went limited in practice today. We'll see if he gets cleared by Sunday. Right now, Jacoby Brissett's on track to start, and either way, I'm going to treat it as May and Brissett. They're going to Tennessee. If you guys watched my predictions video at the beginning of the year, I thought Tennessee would be better than what they're showing right now. I thought Will Levis was gonna have a solid year. Obviously, that hasn't come to fruition. Will Levis is still injured right now. It's Mason Rudolph at the helm. The Titans are coming off a blowout loss from the Detroit Lions. These are two pretty bad football teams. I mean, in Nashville, Tennessee has one win all year, and it was a close win against the Miami Dolphins with Tyler Huntley at the helm. Tennessee gets this one. I mean, Callahan might be I might be going on a limb and saying this, but Brian Callahan might be at the risk of being fired after year one, and that's not good. He might be at the risk. Obviously, Hopkins was traded already. Ernest Jones was traded. They look like sellers at the deadline. It looks like a tank team, but I think Tennessee gets it done at home, and I think that they get their second win on the year and take down the Patriots. And then we have the supposed to be Sunday night football game got flexed out, as we just said. It's Jaguars Eagles. The Jaguars, they put up a good fight last week with the Packers. Jordan Love did get hurt, but nonetheless, they put up a fight. It was a 3-point loss, I believe. Brandon McManus hit the game-winning field goal against his former team. They're going to Philly, who obviously just blew out my Bengals. They pulled away in the fourth quarter, in third to fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts played a very good game. Devontae Smith was efficient. AJ Brown was efficient. Bengals actually had Saquon Barkley decently in check, but he had 100 yards still, but they had him decently in check until he broke off a few in the fourth quarter when in garbage time. But the Eagles, man, they hit their stride now. I mean, they're coming off a blowout win against the Giants, a win against the Bengals, and this team's starting to look like what I thought they were. At the beginning of the year, I was like, are the Eagles going to disappoint me again? And it looked like it for a little while, but here they are. They're 5-2, and they got a Jacksonville team. It's Kelly Green week at home versus the Jaguars, and Philly gets it done. I think they go to 6-2. This is a good football team right here. I mean, I'm happy to say they are what I thought they are now. I mean, they're hitting their stride now. They're gonna go to 6-2 if they win this game. Obviously, it's not given any given Sunday in the NFL, as they say. But if they win this game, they go to 6-2, and it's them and the Commanders. They play on Thursday Night Football in a few weeks, and that will be an absolute treat. I mean, Commanders, Eagles, Thursday Night Football. That will be very, very fun to watch. But yeah, give me the Eagles at home. And then we have Bears Cardinals in Arizona. And I'm not going to lie, I'm still undecided on this one. I really still don't know who's going to win this football game. Chicago, they lost on an absolute heartbreaker. Noah Brown, Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels in Washington. The Bears did not play well enough to win that game anyway. Shane Waldron, I don't even know what Shane Waldron's doing right now. They fumbled at the one on one of their drives because an offensive lineman ran the ball. I don't know what they were cooking with that. I really don't know what was going on there. The Bears, they did not play well. DeAndre Swift played well. That was about it. Caleb Williams was pretty bad. I mean, the Commanders were the better football team all game. The Commanders weren't particularly well either in that game, but the Commanders won. Tyreek Stevenson, obviously, everyone saw the debacle with him out taunting the fans in the secondary when it was during the Hail Mary play. I'm still really undecided on who I want in this game. The Cardinals, they're coming off another win, two in a row now. They're 4-4. They're in the lead in the NFC West right now. They're right there. Everyone's right there. Everyone's neck and neck, but they're in the lead right now. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna pick the Bears. I'm not confident in Shane Waldron. I'm really not, but I think this offense has too many weapons right now to lose this game. They're 4-3. I mean, their division's tight just as well as the NFC West is, and the Cardinals defense has holes. I expect the Bears offense to be much better, even with Shane Waldron as a play caller. Jackson Smith and Jigba warned the Bears fans about Shane Waldron in the offseason. Bears fans called him delusional, and he's right. So I'm gonna take the Bears for now, but this might be one I switch during the week, so be alert for that as for next week in my record. But I'm taking the Bears for the sake of this video. And then we have America's Game of the Week with Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady on the call. This is a treat right here. We got a treat. It's Jared Goff and the Lions, who did not practice today, but he's going to play this week, versus who in the Packers. Jordan Love's questionable, but to be honest with you, I can't see Jordan Love missing this game. This is a massive, massive game for the NFC North. Lions are 6-1. Packers are 6-2 in Lambeau Field. Right as the weather's starting to get cold, we're in Lambeau Field. This is going to be a treat. This is a massive game for NFC North playoff implications, and it's two good quarterbacks going at it. If I expect Jordan Love to play, there's a chance he doesn't. He didn't practice today. He was hurt against Jacksonville, but I expect him to play. This is what I'm going to go with. In Lambeau Field, I'm taking the Packers. If Jordan Love plays, I'm taking the Packers. If Jordan Love's fully healthy, I'm taking the Packers. If Jordan Love doesn't suit up for this game and it's Malik Willis to go in this game, I'm taking the Lions. I think the Lions are going to lose this game. I think this is going to be one. They go into Lambeau Field. It's a last second field goal. It's a close game, and their pass rush is a little lacking. I think the Packers are going to win this, and I think they're going to turn around on Monday or Tuesday before the trade deadline, and they're going to go out and get a pass rusher. Specifically, guys, I'm looking at like Baron Browning, Azeez Ojulari, Za'Darius Smith potentially with the Browns. Could trade him away. Guys like that, I could see the Detroit Lions going out and getting. Aiden Hutchinson, obviously, pretty much out for the season. Adam Schefter at one time reported that there's a outside chance he could make it back if they made it to February, but who knows? I think they go out and get a pass rusher because they're going to need one. Trade deadline's next Tuesday. I'm thinking about going live for that, by the way. I'm thinking about it, not sure. We got a packed week next week. I mean, next week's a crazy week for sports reasons and other reasons. Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Everyone knows what Tuesday is, November 5th. Obviously, everyone knows what day that is. Trade deadlines that day. Um, Crazy week. Monday Night Football on Monday. We got a week next week, and it's crazy. A lot of stuff going on next week. But I'm taking Green Bay. And then we have a big, big NFC West game. It's the Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks coming off a blowout loss versus the Bills. This is tough. In Seattle, in Lumen Field, I mean, I love Sean McVay. I do. I love Sean McVay as a head coach. And he got his guys back. Like, he's got his guys back. He's got the trio back. The band is back together. Matthew Stafford played his best game of the year on Thursday night. They're coming off a mini bye week. I like the Rams here. I do. I like Sean McVay to outcoach a rookie head coach in Mike McDonald. I do. Matthew Stafford's got his receivers back. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua played good football on Thursday night, and I expect no different. Give me the Rams. I expect them to go to 4-4 here, and I expect them to get right smack dab in the middle of this thing again. Sean McVay. You can never count Sean McVay out, no matter how injured his team is. Potentially Jonah Jackson could be back soon. Steve Avila, I mean, they're getting healthy. They're getting better. And do not count out the Rams. Give me the Rams. And then we have the Joe Flacco led Colts against the Sam Darnold Vikings. Two storylines going on with both these teams. Starting off with the Colts, Anthony Richardson was benched. Shane Steichen said, he's out of there. Joe Flacco starting. Joe Flacco gives him the best chance to win, and Joe Flacco's under center on Sunday Night Football. Do I agree with the decision? I don't know. The Colts aren't winning a Super Bowl this year. We know that. The Colts could go to the playoffs. I think Shane Steichen's absolutely right by saying Joe Flacco gives them the best chance to win. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. But this was supposed to be the development year with for Anthony Richardson, so I don't know if I fully agree with the decision. This was supposed to be a fully development year by Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's playing bad ball. No one can disagree with that. No one should disagree with that, and it's a fact. Anthony Richardson, his completion percentage is below 50%, like in the 40s. It's bad. It's bad right now. They're coming off a loss to the Texans. Minnesota, obviously Christian Darrisaw was lost for the season. We talked about that last week. What did they do? They brought in Cam Robinson. They made a move, and Cam Robinson was brought in. I think that's a really underrated move. It will be underrated for the rest of the season. Jacksonville is rolling with Walker Little, and Cam Robinson finally got out of Jacksonville, and now he's a Minnesota Viking to replace him. I think it's a good move for them. I think it helps out Sam Darnold a lot. I think it gives them a proven, solidified piece at that position. And the Vikings have lost two in a row after starting undefeated. This is the game they rebound. Prime time at US Bank Stadium. The Skull Chant's gonna be going fire. We all know that. I mean, I think Joe Flacco gives the Colts a better chance to win in this game. With Anthony Richardson, I would have said the Vikings win this game by a landslide. But Joe Flacco, I think, makes this game more competitive and a better football game. But I'm riding with the Vikings at home on prime time. That crowd's gonna be rocking, and the Vikings get it done. They stay in pace with the AFC North. I mean, the NFC North. Sorry. And then we wrap up the picks with Monday Night Football. It's the Bucks and Kansas City Chiefs. This is the Bucks' last game before the bye. Chiefs are undefeated. I mean, can we argue with that, really? Can we argue with that? They're undefeated. Mahomes ain't even playing great football, but they're undefeated. You can't argue with it. They're the best team in the league right now. The Buccaneers. K. Dalton's playing like a top 10 tight end, but that's a that's an underrated story. The running backs are good. The Chiefs stop the run well, though. The Chiefs have a very good defense. They stop the run well. No Mike Evans in this game. Chris Godwin's obviously done for the year. So it's a receiving core of Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, and yeah, Trey Palmer. That's 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 the receiving core they're rocking with right now. K. Dalton, expect him to still see a lot of targets. Defense is still solid, but KC gets it done at Arrowhead on Monday Night Football. Crowd's gonna be rocking. Same thing. Um, the Bucs are too injured right now. I can't see him coming back in the division, even with Atlanta losing to Dallas. I cannot see him coming back. It's Atlanta's division to lose at this point. Bucs are dealing with injuries, man. Mike Evans, they got the bye week next week. Then they got San Francisco. Mike Evans could potentially be back, but Christian McCaffrey will also be back for that San Francisco game. I mean, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the the Buccaneers in this game. I mean the Chiefs in this game. Sorry, Chiefs in this game. And yeah, I think they get it done. So those are the picks this week. Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills, Saints, Bengals, Chargers, Commanders, Titans, Eagles, Bears, Packers, Rams, Vikings, Chiefs. My lock of the week. Let me do a quick scroll because I haven't picked this out yet. My lock. Son, can you play me a memory? Should I lock Monday Night Football? Hmm. I'm not gonna lock Monday Night Football because I don't think it's a lock. Oof, I don't want to lock Commanders. This is tough. I don't want to lock Commanders Giants either. I could lock Philadelphia. Hmm. I think I'm gonna lock. Hmm. This is tough. I'm gonna lock KC, I guess. I'm gonna lock KC, and my upset's gonna be Dallas. Dallas over Atlanta. So yeah, those are the picks this week, and we're gonna go into the power rankings. So yeah, right now. And here are this week's power rankings. We have no movement at the top two with the Chiefs and Lions. We have the Packers moving up to number three. I don't expect a big problem with Jordan Love's injury. We have the Bills going up to number four. Texans, Steelers at number six. Russell Wilson's playing some good football. They're on bye week. Baltimore going down to seven with the loss to Cleveland. They go down four, but I don't expect a problem there. Commanders staying the same with the Hail Mary. Vikings all the way down to number 9 with 2 losses in a row now. Eagles sneak back into the top 10 with the big win in 2 in a row now for them. The Falcons and 49ers, Bears all stay the same at 11, 12, 13. Cardinals up to 14. Seahawks at 15. Chargers and Broncos back to back. Those teams are both, well, one's 5-3, one's 4-3. Buccaneers at 18. Rams at 19, back into the top 20. They're 3-4 now. Cowboys at 20. Colts at 21. Bengals drop 2 at the loss to Philadelphia. Browns go up 7 with Jameis Winston. One particular reason for that is Jameis Winston. They're better with Jameis Winston than they are Deshaun Watson. That's a fact. They showed it against Baltimore. And with a big win against the Ravens, and with Jameis Winston at the helm now, that's my reason for putting them up 7, not just because the Ravens win alone. Dolphins stay at 24, Giants at 25, Saints at 26, Jaguars at 27. Patriots go up 4 spots from the bottom spot with the win over the Jets. The Jets 1 spot below them because of how bad they're playing right now. Raiders at 30, Titans at 31, and the Carolina Panthers, one of the worst offenses I've ever seen at the NFL level, at number 32. So yeah, those are the power rankings, and I don't know, could be an interesting week 9 ahead. I need to get right in my picks. The Bengals need to get right. Let's see what kind of week we have, and yeah, it's interesting. So it's been a pretty wacky season so far. So let's see if that continues. And that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, like, subscribe, be greatly appreciated, and I'll see y'all soon.